I'm very pleased today to be speaking with Peter Handley, who is our most recent honorary doctoral graduate of Nipissing University. We're very fortunate to have a long-standing community builder, media personality, to be our most recent graduate. Peter, thank you very much for being with us today, and we're so honored to have you among our ranks as a graduate.
The honor's mine. Really, it is.
Let's start with that stellar career of yours and a life of community service, and I want to touch on a few of those elements.
Okay.
And first of all, you bore witness to so many different events, spoke to so many personalities, and were engaged in so many important activities and events over the course of your career. Are there any that stand out in particular that you'd like to tell us about?
Oh, goodness. That's so difficult to answer with any specificity at all, because I was in a certain area, but I did different things in those certain. The council was an aberration in a sense, and yet I consider the 9 years I spent on council really the most rewarding of my time in public life, if you want to call it that. But every interview I did was important to me. Whether it was with a local person or was with an important name person, it didn't really matter. They're all important. At least I treated them that way, and I think that's one reason why they worked. And everything I did, I went into the same way, that you work. That to me is if you got a job to do, you do it. That's a job, and you do it to the best of your ability.
So you've had a lifetime of wonderful experiences with people.
Yeah, both talking to them and working with them. And I've got no complaints at all.
Well, let's turn back to community.
Okay.
You're a person that's so well known in the North Bay and surrounding region because of your career and who you are. But a lot of that is based on the lifetime of service that you gave to North Bay and the surrounding region. So tell me, how did you get involved with dedicating so many hours to service?
I didn't look at it that way. For a lot of it, I got a name basically because of the sports. And again, it was a job. And you do the job to the best of your ability, work with all the people in the surrounding areas as well as North Bay, just working with them. You look back at it and say, oh, maybe that was public service. No, I was doing a job. You're the sports director at this time, you do the job. So you do the job the way you think the job should be done. I never looked at anything I did as public service. A library board, 27 years. I enjoyed it. I love the library. I think it's one of the most valuable things we have in the community, is a viable library in any community. North Bay Sports Hall of Fame. Okay, it's a concomitant of the job in sports. Okay, we've been talking about this. Let's start it. Let's get a Hall of Fame going. Okay, they give you a job to do this. Okay, you do this. You do it again to the best of your ability, and the thing grows. I had the great good fortune, and I wouldn't be here talking to you now if I hadn't accepted a teaching job at Canada. To be brutally frank, I didn't mind how many thousands of people were listening to me on a microphone. I'm in a studio and they're out in the grade. I couldn't speak in public without going through the tortures of hell, quite literally. And Sid Tompkins called me one day and said, as I worked with Sid on the TV station, said, I'd like you to teach a course in interviewing at Canada. And I said, oh, Sid. He said, no, I really want you to do, interviewing. You've done enough. I hadn't studied any of it, of course. You just do them. But I accepted that. For one, it was interesting. For one, I needed the money. It was a challenge. And you tried, I'm sure you have, tried dealing with a classroom full of various aged people who are maybe interested, maybe not interested, maybe bored stiff, but who have alert, bright minds. So you got to know your stuff. And you got to stand up in front of that classroom and talk to those kids. I was fortunate because I knew what I was talking about. It's a tough job teaching, but going through that gave me the self-confidence to run for council, to do this, to do that, to do the other thing. So, yeah, that was, although I didn't know it, that was a turning point in my life. And it's such a simple thing. A guy makes a phone call to another guy who he worked with and says, how do you like trying this? And if I'd said no, I wouldn't be here. I'm 100% sure of that. That was the key. Now, I don't know where I've gone on this. I know I've twisted and turned. You said you didn't want a stick handle, but I stick handled around. I don't know where I am.
Well,
right
you
now.
landed in a good spot.
Okay.
Peter, I want to congratulate you. We're so happy to have you with us. I'm so pleased to spend some time with you. And congratulations on your honorary degree. I know that the people of North Bay and the surrounding region will be so happy.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.